Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle Seahawks fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. I've got some intriguing whispers swirling around the league, and it's all centered on one of the most exciting defensive players out there, Josh Allen. Not the Bills' quarterback, but the fierce edge rusher from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And yes, I know what you're thinking. The Jaguars are sitting at 6-4, and they've got a solid cap situation, around $8 million, so they're in a position to make some bold moves if the right opportunity comes knocking. And this rumor right now is about a potential trade that could send shockwaves through the NFC West and beyond. Imagine the Seahawks, with their already aggressive front seven, adding a player like Allen to their arsenal. It's a tantalizing thought, especially considering how much of a difference maker he could be. Let's break down what's really happening here. The Jaguars, despite their decent record, are eyeing a bit of a rebuild, especially on the offensive line. They're looking to shore up their trenches, and they need to add some young wide receiver talent, too. But one thing that's clear is that they're open to moving some key pieces, especially if the right offer comes along. Josh Allen, a ferocious pass rusher with a 7-year career already boasting over 200 tackles and more than 50 sacks, is a hot commodity. His PFF grade sits comfortably at 87.5, and he's known for generating pressure, over 150 pressures in recent seasons. He's a guy who can truly turbocharge a front seven, especially as a pressure king. And with his 28% win rate on pass rushes, he's consistently disruptive. Now imagine Allen lining up next to Boy Mafe, creating a relentless duo on the edges. The Seahawks are already known for their aggressive pass rush, with a total of 30 sacks so far, but adding someone like Allen could push that number even higher. Based on projections, Allen could contribute an additional 12 sacks, possibly more, and generate a 22% increase in pressures. Think about how that would impact third down situations, reducing opponents' conversion rate from 40% down to around 33%, which is a huge deal. His presence alone can make life miserable for quarterbacks, and combined with the Seahawks' already stout defense, it could turn the entire unit into a nightmare for offenses. But that's where it gets even more interesting. The Jaguars, who average 24 points per game, are struggling a bit with third down efficiency, converting only about 37.4% of their third downs. They're in need of weapons at wide receiver, and they're also considering their cap situation. Moving Allen would free up around $16 million in cap space, which they could use to bolster their offense or add more draft capital, possibly a first-round pick in 2027, which is a long-term investment. Some analysts, though, are skeptical about the age factor, and whether Allen's production will stay consistent, especially if pressures start to drop with age or scheme changes. On the flip side, the Seahawks are in a very different position. Sitting at 7-3, they're in the thick of the playoff hunt and leaning heavily on their aggressive defensive front, which has already racked up 30 sacks this season. Adding Allen, who's projected to contribute an extra 12 sacks, could be a game changer. His ability to generate pressures, over 150 in recent seasons, would complement the Seahawks' existing pass rush, especially on third downs. It's about creating chaos, forcing turnovers, and making life miserable for quarterbacks like Matthew Stafford with the Rams, or anyone else they face. This potential move reminds me of the Khalil Mack trade to the Chargers last year, which turned their defense into a real playoff caliber unit. If Seattle manages to land Allen, it could be just as impactful. His presence would not only boost sacks, but also elevate the entire defense's confidence and aggressive mindset. Think about how this would influence their odds in the playoffs, especially in high-pressure moments, like facing Stafford in the postseason. Right now, the Seahawks' odds are looking pretty good, with some betting lines showing a plus 1,500 chance to win the Super Bowl. But if they add a player like Allen, those odds could shorten significantly, maybe to plus 750 or even better. It's that kind of X factor that could propel Seattle into the next level, making them true contenders. Now some fans might ask, is it worth giving up a future first-round pick? And that's a fair question. But in today's NFL, where the margin between winning and losing is razor-thin, aggressive moves like this are often what separate a good team from a great one. The Seahawks are already a top-tier team with a solid defense and an explosive offense led by Geno Smith and DK Metcalf. Adding a proven game-changer like Allen could be the final piece they need to push over the edge and make a real Super Bowl run. Plus, with the right coaching staff, Pete Carroll and his crew, they can maximize Allen's impact and integrate him seamlessly into their defensive schemes. Of course, the Jaguars will be cautious. They might hesitate because of Allen's age. He's in his prime, but not exactly a spring chicken, and the risk that pressures might diminish over time. They'll also weigh the value of a first-round pick in 2027, which is still quite a ways out. But if the Seahawks can negotiate a deal that includes a first-rounder and perhaps some additional mid-round picks, it could be a win-win. For Seattle, it's about seizing the moment, adding that extra juice to their already formidable front, and setting themselves up for a deep playoff push. Looking ahead, I think this trade scenario is one to watch closely. The Seahawks are known for their aggressive front office and their willingness to make bold moves when the moment calls for it. They've already shown they're not afraid to shake things up. Think of the Khalil Mack trade or even how they've built their roster this season. If they land Josh Allen, it would send a message to the rest of the league. Seattle is serious about contending and isn't backing down from the challenge. And for fans, that's exactly what we want to see, our team going all in, making bold moves and chasing that second Lombardi trophy with everything they've got. So stay tuned, folks. The NFL rumor mill is heating up, and the Seahawks could very well be at the center of the next big blockbuster. Whether it's a strategic move to bolster their pass rush or a statement to the rest of the league that they're not messing around, the potential acquisition of Josh Allen would be a huge step forward. And honestly, I can't wait to see what happens next. This is the kind of drama we love as Seahawks fans, a mix of strategy, talent, and a little bit of that Seattle grit. The coming weeks will be exciting, no doubt about it. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Would you love to see Josh Allen in that green and blue? Do you think it's worth giving up a future first-round pick? Or are you worried about the age and durability? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Seahawks news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds. Go Hawks!